Well, good morning. Welcome to our solo walk. Ass backwards, upside down. It's inverted consciousness. I don't know if you guys see that or think that, but as I look around and see the way things are going in the last, especially the last 5 years, but it was before that too, but it's really come to the forefront or become more visible in the last few years, and that where traditional values, principles, morals have come under attack, I guess, from the dark entities that are manipulating or trying to manipulate civilization, society, you, me, in ways that aren't beneficial to humanity, really. You know, you go back to 4 years ago, whatever it was. I'll go back to 5 years ago when the pandemic was on, and if you had questions about the narrative or didn't agree with the narrative, you were shunned and ostracized and pushed out of society and called names. And then here in Canada, we had the truckers convoy. It doesn't matter whether you agree with what they did or what their message was, but you take a grassroots movement that was peaceful, you can't say it wasn't. I don't care what you believe, but it was peaceful. It was just people fed up and wanted to speak to their government, which quite promptly just ignored them and called them names and pushed them aside. Yet you have riots, not protests. There's a difference between a riot and a protest. And we had riots going through those same towns, causing havoc and everything else, and our friggin' leaders were out promoting them, staying mostly peaceful as the streets were burning and windows were being broken. Yeah. And then you have nobody held accountable for the riot, but the so-called leaders of the grassroots movement are still being prosecuted, and they're trying to take away a man's livelihood out of spite, to have his truck scrapped and have him suffer more because he had charges of mischief. It's upside down. It's ass backwards. You have people all over the Western countries, and even some of the other ones, I guess, too, but being jailed for putting up posts on friggin' social media and that. And whether you agree with the post or not, it's inconsequential and that. But a majority of those posts are people that are concerned and feel that things are becoming immoral and there is no principles or values anymore unless it's the diktats of the authorities. If you don't fall in line, you'll be punished. If you don't agree with the agenda and follow, you know, there's no room for a debate anymore. There's no room for a discussion anymore. It's the way of the program, the agenda, or you're ostracized. You know, you see the events of a couple days ago where a young man was ended, I guess you call it, for standing on what his values, principles, morals, what his heart told him. Non-violent lad. Whether you agree with what he was saying or not, that's of no real consequence. But he should have had the ability to stand on what he valued and debate that. And that's what he was doing. And for that, he was ended. And the real sad part of it is we have media, especially here in Canada, I see it. We have professors celebrating the fact that the young man was executed. You have them trying to pump up the rhetoric that he deserved what he got just because he didn't follow the agenda. They're trying to instigate more violence, trying to push the people with some values, morals, and principles, traditional ones, into the violence, into more separation, into more fear. They fear anyone that is trying to unite humanity, civilization. Because if you're united and stand for what you know to be good, know to be factual, understand to be true, you're a threat to the dark, evil forces that are trying to lead society down this dystopian path. And violence is not the answer. All you're doing is playing right into their game. More isolation, more separation, more division, more turmoil, more distrust. That's the goal of this. And if you think all this is just random stuff, I don't know what to say, because if you have any kind of discernment, willing to look, willing to hear, it's so plain how this forces, these parasites are trying to keep civilization at odds with the wars and the threats of wars. I don't see in any of these countries where the wars are being propagated, where the people themselves want the wars, where the people themselves are the ones that are asking for it. All it is these parasites at the top, or that think they're at the top, unwilling to have a debate about humanity because they've already had their discussions in private. They know that none of this stuff is random. It's all been put into place to bring about their distorted views of how things should be, I guess. Everything from, like I said, the wars and the lies and the corruption, to trying to control nature, to pumping us full of poisons, to the propagandas and the mind controls and EMFs, and there's so much, and you look at it and you think, or at least, we used to think, and a lot of people still do, nobody would do that. They wouldn't do that. And it's got to the point now where when you look around, you question fucking near everything, because they've shown their hand so much in the past few years. And it's just going to escalate as they come closer to their goal date of 2030, whatever the frig they expect to have in place by then. But like I said, violence isn't the answer. That being said, defend yourself, defend your family, defend your property. Don't take no shit. But I defend my family, I defend my property, I defend myself out of love, not out of hatred. Don't give in to the hate. Now more than ever is the time to rise above the fucking noise. Rise above the fucking bullshit that these idiots are pushing, and that their system, that their agenda is calling for. Rise above that. It's time for something new, but I don't think it's new. It's time to remember. It's time to remember who, what we are. That we don't have to succumb to these dark, evil forces. And as the next few months, years go, it's going to escalate. You're going to have to choose. You're going to stand for what you believe, your values, your principles, your morals. Stand for what you understand to be true. Or you're going to take a knee and kiss the ass of these fucking dictator, parasitic, energetic, stealing pieces of shit that are trying to manipulate and install their agenda. It's time to take a stand. It really is. But again, violence isn't the way. You see the riots in France and Europe and Nepal and stuff against their governments. And that's just playing into their hands. Even protests don't do any good. All that is begging these parasitic assholes to give you something. You have everything you need. It's all within. Power comes from you. The future is you and I. The future is co-created with love, compassion, kindness. Time to build something different from the systems that these parasitic morons have put into place. They've been working at this for thousands of years. It's time for humanity to rise. Time for humanity to remember, become aware of who and what you are. It's time for you, time for me to be the human that we're here to be. To bring love, compassion, peace to this world, to each other. Yes, it's time to tell these parasitic idiots, these dark forces, just to piss off. And that we're going to make this place a great, peaceful, loving world. And that we're going to do it together. And that, like I said, you are the future. You are the answer. We are. Together, united, strong. Throw away all the divisions, the separations. All that is all fictitious bullshit that they've put upon humanity, society, to allow them to function in the background because we're too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see what they're doing. It's time to open our eyes, time to open our ears, time for a little discernment, see what's going on, see who the problems are. And from what I can see, there isn't one good one in any government that I've seen. They're all leading us to the same spot, like I said the other day. A little different menu maybe, but it's the same fucking meal at the end of the day. So let's change that. Let's change the meal at the end of the day. Let's have ourselves a wonderful feast. A feast of love, humanity, love for humanity, I should say. Kindness, compassion, empathy for each other. Build each other up, love each other. Enough's enough. It's time. It's time. Anyway, give your loved ones a hug. Tell them they're loved. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself you are the answer. You are the future. You are more than enough. You got this. You are loved. You are love. Smile. Be strong. Stand for what you understand to be true. Stand on the facts. Quit being so fucking tolerant of all this bullshit. Anyway, we love you. I have faith in humanity. I believe, I know that if we can rise above, that if we can function out of love, kindness, compassion, dialogue, debate, we don't have to agree. But we do need to function out of love. Anyway, much love your way. Be blessed. Have a great day. And again, know that you are enough. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you again.